Hello, hello. How we doing? Hey, you're here. It's Movement Monday with Ray and Ryan. I'm Ryan. This is my buddy Ray. I'd like to thank you for joining us. Um, Hopefully, you're checking us out on our YouTube channel. We're kind of focusing on that for a little bit. So if you're there, welcome. Um, Today we were talking a little bit before we jumped on here, and we've touched on it a little bit before, but haven't, I don't think, really dove into it. But the importance of giving your body rest and proper sleep and kind of everything under that umbrella as far as movement and working out goes. So, um, very, 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 very important. So we will dive into that. Ray, how you doing today?
I'm not doing too bad about yourself.
I'm doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. I can't
Good
complain.
deal. Yeah. Out on the roads today, huh?
Yeah. I got some things to do today, but that's the luxury of being able to do what we do. We can do it from anywhere. So
Exactly.
so here we are.
Good deal. Well, good to see you.
Yeah, you too.
I will. I'll start by saying that you and I chatted a little bit about it, but I just again, resting is so important. It's such an important part of the movement part of a person's workout and a person's regimen. Um, Without proper rest, your body doesn't have a chance to react to all the gains. You're putting your body through a lot, and if you constantly work it, your body's going to get fatigued, and you got to give your body a chance to get that proper rest in. So that's why we wanted to talk about this today. Well, Ryan, we talked a little bit last week about your rest time and when you rest. So let's delve a little bit more into that and talk about what your rest day or days look like.
Yeah. I think, like I said, I work out, Monday through Friday. I do CrossFit, and then Tuesdays, Thursdays. There's a group of us that it varies from day to day when we go, but we either run or do cardio. Usually it's we go for runs, but do some kind of cardio, and then the weekends are my rest days. And for me, it might be a little different, but my rest day, I consider a rest day. I don't go to the gym. Like, I'm still active doing stuff around the house. I've still got chores to do. Life still goes on. I'm still up moving around, but I'm not, putting my body under a heavy strain like I would at the gym.
Mm-hmm.
So I consider that my rest days. And I do that. Take Saturday off, Sunday off. If I'm going to do something, I try to plan it a little more towards Saturday, one, because I've got more time, but then really Sunday I focus on, if I don't have to do anything, I'm not doing anything. So, I've kind of, wife and I have come to that agreement that if there's something important, okay, we got to go do it. But otherwise, that's football day, that's lounge day, laundry day. So nothing too strenuous happening on those 2 days. So, and it seems that it works out really well for me. So, I
Yeah.
mean, other people are different. I mean, I know you're on a different schedule, so finding what works for you is that's what it's all about.
Indeed, and that's kind of, you touched on it a little bit, is that we all have different schedules, and so when we take the effort to adjust our schedules to get the work in, it's important that we also take the time to schedule in some rest in there as well. For me, I do Orange Theory classes Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday mornings. And it just, those are the days that work out for me. Tuesdays and Thursdays I coach, so I'm technically at Orange Theory 6 days a week. And, a couple of times over the last couple of months, I've coached on Sundays, so I've been there for 7 days a week. Um, but the benefit is, I think a lot of people think that because I'm coaching that I'm actually taking classes, and I'm not taking classes when I'm coaching. So on those rest days, typically Tuesdays and Thursdays, I usually find something else to kind of get myself moving. And it's a rest day, if you will, but it's not necessarily not getting anything in, because I know I just feel like there's an opportunity for me to get more strength in because I'm not doing as vigorous of strength workouts as someone like that goes to CrossFit or whatnot. We have 30 minutes of cardio and then 30 minutes that can be split up between either on a rower or on the weight floor at Orange Theory, and it varies, throughout each day. It's not the same every day. So, I try to find a way to get a little bit more of strength workout in there. And like during November, the month of November, those were the days that I decided to get my walks in. And so it still kind of held with the mindset of a little bit less of a workout in that I wasn't running, I was only walking, but it's still, a lesser day. And Sundays are usually my rest day as well. I try real hard to not get any movement in on Sundays, but sometimes it's just there. But most days, most of the time, we have at least one soccer game that I've got to take my son to, and so we do that. We have 5 games with the possibility of 6 between indoor and outdoor soccer. So it's going to be a little bit busy, but so it just kind of worked out that postponing and moving games around with weather and tournaments and whatnot, it just kind of became a busier one. So it'll be important that I allow myself to focus on what he's doing and get some rest breaks and rest myself while he's giving it his all weekend long.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, even on my rest days right now, I recently posted that I'm doing just kettlebell swings and say just kettlebell swings, and I follow a guy who has a program and also has a meal plan and whatnot. He has a handful of different programs that he does, really reasonably priced, but Visual Impact is the name of his company. And I did during shutdown, I did an 8-week program of just the whole kettlebell workout because couldn't go anywhere else to work out, and kind of have let the kettlebells sit and collect dust, and so I figured why not put them to work and get myself some work on my glutes, my core, my arms, my forearms. Just kettlebell swings are just so easily, like, they're easy to do, but they also are so effective. So what I'm doing is a 20-minute, every minute on the minute, 10 kettlebell swings. So it breaks out to 200 kettlebell swings, and 200 sounds a lot more intense than 10 every minute on the minute. But so I think I'm going to tell people that I do 200 kettlebell swings on Tuesdays and Thursdays because it sounds cooler.
There you go. Yeah. So here, my question for that: are you doing American swings or Russian swings? Do you go like up level to your nose, or are you going all the way up vertical above your head and back down?
I'm going to guess that I do the American version because I only go up to my nose.
There you go.
I didn't know that there was a difference. So
yeah,
I had a buddy of mine reach out and ask me, about some form stuff that he's seen, if I had heard before, and so he gave me some tips and whatnot. So that was helpful. I've never seen people use a towel to hold the kettlebell and swing it because it changes up your form, and so I'm going to start trying that as well because that'll build different grip strength in my hands, as well as it helps you to focus more on a more proper form in that swing. And so looking forward to that is to trying that as well, because I mean, who doesn't want to try to improve? It's always
yeah.
I love the mindset that yoga people use of that it's a practice, and the reason why it's a practice is because it's never perfect. You're always practicing to be better. So yeah.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That kind of made me think, we're talking about rest days and resting and stuff. And I don't know if we've really talked about it, like an active rest or an active recovery, which, you can still call it a rest day, but you're going for a short walk, so your body's still moving, but you're not putting it under the pressure of a normal workout that you would do, whatever that is. So it's just, an active recovery day. You're just go walk for, a short distance, just nice and easy. So your body's still moving, but you're not putting it under pressure, the exertion like normal. So that's another aspect of it. But you still need days where you're not doing anything.
Yeah.
So if you, like you talked about, if you overexert your body, to the extreme, your body will eventually say, "Hey, that's enough," and it shuts down, and that's not good. So
yeah,
you want to listen to your body way before that, but give it a chance to recover and take care of itself internally for what you just put it through.
Well, and that reminds me, with recovery and whatnot, if you're overexerting your body and you're on a calorie deficit meal plan of any sort, which all the diet should be, depending on how much you're reducing the calorie intake, that should affect how hard you're working out. Because if you're trying to fast and only eat 8 hours a day or whatnot, it's a lot harder to get those calories in, and then you're more likely to be more tired because you're not properly nourishing your body as well. And so, fasting is a little bit harder when it comes to an active lifestyle, because you need to refuel. And so, at what point is the fast over? I've done my fair share of intermittent fasting, where you do the 16 and 8 and don't eat till like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Well, for somebody like me who works out first thing in the morning, that 2 o'clock in the afternoon is way too far off for me to replenish my energy and get something else in there. So that's something else to consider. Fixing and refining, trying to find what works well for you, and understanding that that those rest periods are important. And so if you're going to be intermittent fasting, try to plan your workouts around that, and make sure that you're, providing yourself the proper energy to get through those workouts and not just completely wreck your body, and make yourself completely tired and just drained. Because it's very easy to do. I've done it. So I'm speaking from experience when I talk about that. But and then the active recovery thing that's something we do coach at Orange Theory. A difference between a walk-in recovery and an active recovery. We have 3 different levels that we coach to. It's either a base, a pusher, and all out. And a lot of times we bring people back to a base, and that is supposed to be an active recovery. And the terminology that goes with it is challenging but doable. You should still be able to move. You should be able to talk through this, but also keep your heart rate up in that green zone, which the green zone is pretty universal for anybody that does, follows a heart rate based workout. And so, but there's also a walk-in recovery, which the walk-in recovery doesn't necessarily mean that you're still an active recovery. It's a full-on, I just gave it my all. I just went all out. So I need to walk it out and I need to recover. And so those aren't necessarily the same as rest days, but it's the recovery within your workout, because it's interval training. So you triggered that when you mentioned active recovery, because that's exactly where my mind goes.
And then sleep. How big is that? We both know how important that is in the grand scheme of things. But getting good, restful sleep, every night, it's just one of those other pieces in the puzzle of it all. That if that's off, you're not going to get everything you possibly are wanting out of workouts or whatever you're trying to do. So it's really important to make sure you're sleeping enough and sleeping well.
Yeah, and sleeping enough and sleeping well looks different for everybody. It looks different for a teenager than a kid that's under 12 versus an adult in their late 40s and their early 50s and whatnot. And so, to prescribe somebody a proper sleep time, it's tough if you don't know their lifestyle, if you don't know how old they are, and so that's kind of an encouragement to everybody to look at what proper sleep patterns are for you and your lifestyle, and make sure that you're getting that proper sleep in, because 8 hours is a good reference, but it's not always optimal for everybody to get a full 8 hours or only 8 hours. Some people 12 hours is better for them. Other people 6 hours will work. Um, and then the another thing that I saw recently, which pretty much blew my mind, is that training your body to wake up at the same time every day, regardless if you're working out, going to school, whatever it is, that's the most important part. And if you go to bed late, you still want to try to wake up at that same time, because your body will react better if you wake up at the same time every day, regardless of what time you go to sleep. And so ideally, what that looks like is you're going to bed early enough to give yourself that time to be able to wake up at that normal time. And I think for me that tracks with why when people get older, they wake up on their own at 6 a.m. every day, because that's just their wake up time. And so I've been trying to get a little bit more to a pattern of waking up at the same time every day. But when I coach twice a week, and I have to be at the gym a half hour earlier than the other days that I don't coach, it makes it a little bit harder, because that half hour of sleep or it's actually, it works out to be an hour, because it's for showering before the gym versus showering after, when I'm taking class rather than coaching. It makes a huge difference, and if I can get an extra hour of sleep in the morning, I want that extra hour. So,
Yeah,
um, you
I
know,
definitely fall into that. I work at a school, so during
uh-huh,
the summer I don't have to work, but I still am on my same routine. I get up, I'm at the gym at 6 and go through all the stuff. Mary's like, "God, it's summer. Why are you still getting up so early?" I'm like, "Because this is my routine. I want to get
yeah,
up, get my day going, get it started, set the tone for the day." And so my alarm goes off Monday through Friday, but Saturday and Sunday I don't have an alarm. But still, by 7 o'clock, I may not always get out of bed, but I'm awake,
yeah,
and it's just because that's the routine. So
yeah. Well,
it's
and
it's it's there.
that's what's been going for me on the Sundays that we haven't had anything going on. Recently, I've turned my alarm off and not had anything to see, what it would look like. But also, you know, with it being dry January, it makes a little bit of a difference as well. But my body naturally wakes up at 6 o'clock, and so I can go back to sleep. Um, but usually about 7, it's like, well, you need to get up and do something. You slept too long now. So,
Hmm.
and that's starting. I don't know if that was a whole mental thing that I worked into my own brain that got me to wake up like that, but it's becoming a habit to wake up that early um, when I've gone to bed at a reasonable time. And so trying to get to bed at a reasonable time has become a little bit higher of a priority, making sure that I get that rest in. And, I do wear our sleep patches every night, just to try to encourage getting that, that quality sleep in. And then on nights when I know that I've had a day that is going to trigger my brain for overthinking of why did I do that, what did this happen, where what's going to happen next type of thing. I also throw on a CBD patch, and that's going to guarantee that I'm going to sleep like a baby. And so that pairing is definitely next level. But I do reserve it for the nights when I need both rather than just the sleep patch, because it definitely makes a difference.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I've those nights when I can't get this to shut
Mhm.
off, it's definitely CBD to the rescue.
Yes.
And then it just kind of goes, Doop, all right, good night.
Exactly.
So it's yeah, it's amazing.
For sure. Well, any final words of wisdom before we wrap up?
No, I think that's good. That's a super important topic that
Mhm.
I know a lot of people overlook because they don't think about it. Oh, you got to rest, you got to take days off, you got to let your body recover. But it's super important to do that.
Yeah. No, I couldn't agree more. And it always I always want to give a little bit of advice when I see somebody going 7 days a week. But also it's unsolicited advice, so I just keep it to myself and hope that one day they figure it
Right.
out. So. Well, good. Alrighty, well, we'll wrap it up. Again, we're Ray and Ryan. This is Movement Monday with Ray and Ryan. If you're catching us on YouTube, please give us a like, give us a share, give us a follow. Tell a friend about our channel here. We'd love the support. If movement and or supplementation is something that's a passion of yours, and you'd like to be on with us, please reach out to one of us. We'd love to have guests. When we've had guests in the past, it's always a good conversation. Again, Ryan and I are both promoters for Innovative Posh. So we have vitamins, supplements, skincare, and self-care products. We've got something for everybody, men, women, children. So, if there's anything that you'd like more information on, let us know. Maybe if there's a product that we sample, we can get you a sample of those. So reach out to us. Other than that, again, we appreciate the support. Tune in next week, and we will talk to you later. Have a good one.
Yeah, have a good one, guys.